What makes two-in-one shoulder pads different than traditional shoulder pads? Well, what's in the name? Everything. The first thing is two in one. So what you literally have is two components that makes up one shoulder pad. We'll start with this. This vest that you see here is actually the protective gear. It's light, it's breathable. I like to tell coaches all the time, it gets rid of your locker room smell because you can literally just wash it and let it air dry. In addition to this being light and breathable, it also gives you what I call flexibility or range of motion. So the ability to be able to raise your arms higher. Now, the other part that makes it so different is the actual shell itself. And we have two shells. This is the polyethylene version right here. And this particular shell is very light. And I want to show you something about this flexibility of the shell and how it actually bends. So you take the shell and you put it over. Now all of your wide receivers have a higher catch radius. Now all of your defensive backs have a higher catch radius. But don't miss this. The defensive linemen love it too. And the reason why the defensive linemen love it too, if it's light enough for the wide receivers, then they feel that it's light enough for them. So all of their swim techniques, all of those kind of things, they love it. Let me show you this other version that we have here. This is our carbon fiber version. Same concept. Now, with the carbon fiber version, what you have is obviously a different type of material. And with the carbon fiber version, what you get is slightly more flexibility, as you can see here. In addition to the slightly more flexibility, this is also slightly lighter in terms of weight. So the carbon fiber version that we have here, and as you can see, we have the clips on the side that allows for you to be able to clip. This makes the two-in-one shoulder pad totally different than your traditional shoulder pad. I want to also call out something else that makes it different than traditional shoulder pads. It's what I call multi-use. I tell coaches all the time, if you just go in shells on shell day, we got you. 7-on-7 tournaments, we got you. So you have the vest that's a multi-purpose vest that can be used in a myriad of different ways that has all of the protection. And then you have the polyethylene and you have the carbon fiber shells that we have that are lighter than traditional shoulder pads. And that, my friends, is what makes the two-in-one shoulder pads different than traditional shoulder pads. Okay. One of the questions that I get asked often is, so are these pads best for just skill positions or are they all position pads? The answer is they're all position pads. Now why? Oh, that's the simple answer, but let me be more specific with you. Of course, you're getting a benefit with the skill guys. That goes without saying. When you start looking at range of motion, when you start looking at catch first rate, there's a reason why the guy who led the NFL in interceptions was wearing them, and the guy who his brother as an all-pro who led the league in receptions was wearing them. But what people miss is the benefit when it comes to linemen. Linemen love it. The offensive linemen love it because when they look at it, they go, if this pad is lighter, then it makes me lighter. It allows for me to move quicker. So you don't think that left tackle that needs to step with that left foot first for that edge rusher wants an advantage? Of course he does. He wants this shoulder pad because it gives him an advantage. The same is true on the D line. For the defensive linemen, they feel that it allows for them to move faster, quicker, and it gives them a strategic advantage too. So the short answer to a very important question in terms of, is this an all-play shoulder pad, is yes. Linemen use it, offensive, defensive linemen use it. I have a team right now that is over in Europe that has won the championship the last 2 years. Their linemen wear it, their skill position guys wear it. It's an all-play shoulder pad. One of the questions I get asked often is, are the shoulder pads legal in all leagues? The short answer is yes. Now let me give you a more in-depth answer. The reason why is, number one, when it comes to industry standard, these shoulder pads meet the industry standard. They have been tested, they are tested in-house. And then the other thing is, I want to be very clear with you. There is no quote unquote legal standard when it comes to shoulder pads. But I will tell you, in any league where you see any other shoulder pad or brand of shoulder pad, you will see 2-in-1 shoulder pads as well. So we meet all of the industry standards in terms of shoulder pads. And yes, they are quote unquote legal for all leagues, from youth all the way up to NFL, where we have players wearing them. One of the questions we get asked often is, how does sizing work? And I want to be very specific. So first, when it comes to the vest, all of the vests are individually sized, whether it's youth all the way up to the professional levels. So small is small, medium is medium, large is large, extra large is extra large. That's what it is when it comes to the vest. When it comes to the shoulder pads, there is dual sizing with them. So you have small, medium, as you can see on the back here. You have large, extra large, as you can see on the back here. So the same way you have dual sizing with these. Now, one of the things that we recommend, you take a measuring tape, and if you were to think through a player and think through the standpoint of AC joints, you take the measuring tape and you go from here to here in terms of AC joint, from one to the other. And then that will give you a size measurement, and then that allows for us to be able to size it too. Also, I don't want you to stress over it when it comes to sizing. If you email us your height, your weight, position that you're playing, we can help you when it comes to sizing. But as far as the shells go, dual sizing once again, and then as far as all of the vests go, they are individually sized, from youth all the way up to adults that play in the NFL. Okay. Another question that we get asked quite often is, what about other protective gear? Back plates, rib cages. Is it compatible? I'm going to give you the answer that yes, it's compatible when it comes to rib cages and back plates. In fact, obviously, we're going to recommend that we have our own back plates that you use. But the same way that you see the rivets in place here for this back plate is for any standard back plate can be used with it. The same thing when it comes to rib cages as well. Any standard rib cage can be used with the shells, and the vest doesn't impede upon it. You do have some protection here, but we still recommend that you actually get a rib cage if you're playing skill positions and you need that. And any rib cage that you get or back plate that you get works with it. Either you buy a pair and you don't see it, again, still we have the hole here for you to be able to attach any back plates to it that are standard back plates. So yes, you can use our back plates, which of course we recommend, or you can use any other back plate and rib cage that's standard back plate and rib cage. I want to take a moment to highlight one of the amazing features of our vest, and I call it breathability. And the reason why I call it breathability is oftentimes people look at this and they go, okay, I see the material, it's black, is it hot? And the answer is no. I have from high schools to professionals wearing it in Texas. I got professionals wearing it over in Europe. And the reason why is this material is all breathable, every bit of it. And then if you can look within, it's actually uniquely designed where all of the protective padding inside of it actually has holes, and this is by design, not by default. By design, all of it has holes in it, and these holes are designed for airflow to flow through. So not only is it not hot, it actually is pretty cool when you put on. And it doesn't matter whether it's game time, 7-on-7, or you just going shells and practice, these all breathe and they help with air. I want to take a moment to highlight one of the other important factors in 2-in-1 and what makes us different from other shoulder pad companies. Not only do we have the vest and the shell, as I've already shared with you earlier, the shells have dual sizing, small, medium. Okay, shells have dual sizing in terms of large, extra large, and the vest or individual. Now, sometimes I get the question of, can I buy these separate? The answer is yes. And that's by design. Why is it by design? Let's say, for example, you have a player who is in a large, extra large. That player has worked his tail off in the off season, put on the right amount of weight, done all of the things that you want him to do. Now he's gone from a large to an extra large. Guess what? You can just purchase the next size up in terms of the actual shell. You don't have to worry about the shell. I'm sorry, the shell is already large, extra large. You just purchase the next size up in terms of the vest. And so now, if they were in a large vest and they need to go to an extra large vest, you buy that extra large vest. You don't have to buy another shell because you already had a large, extra large shell. So that helps a lot in terms of as you think about your program and you think about how players progress, how players develop over time, you always can rest in the fact that as they grow, shells and vests can be sold separately. So as they grow, if I need a different shell, I can get that. If I need a different vest, I can get that. They are sold separately, and that's by design to help you in terms of the maintenance and the rotation of your equipment as your program evolves. I want to take a moment and talk with you about maintenance and care and what it looks like when it comes to two-in-one system. For the vest, first thing that I want to tell you is benefit and the recommendation in terms of care is we recommend that you hand wash these. They can be machine washed. If they are machine washed, you need to put them on a gentle cycle and then simply let them air dry. So you put them in the system, put it on a gentle cycle, pull them out, put them on a hanger, and just let them air dry. So it's that simple when it comes to fit. When it comes to the shells, if it's our polyethylene shell, what we recommend is that you just take a hand sanitation wipe, wipe down the shell, and that covers that in terms of maintenance. Now, our carbons are a little bit different in that, yes, we want you to take a hand sanitation wipe and wipe it down. But one of the other things that we always tell customers is do not bend it up because the design of it is it's uniquely designed, as you can see, to go over the shoulders of the player. So in order to keep that shape, what you don't want to do is take it, bend it up, and stuff it down in a duffel. What you want to literally do is take this, and here's one of the things that we recommend. You simply just take the actual vest, take the vest, put it in between the shell, like so. Now, that way, when you pack it up, you put something in between it that allows for it to keep its shape. And this is how we maintain the carbon fiber shell. You want to make sure that it doesn't bend and that it stays packed up with something in between. So that's maintenance on them. Both, again, let me just go back through it really quick, make sure that you understand. When it comes to the actual vest, hand wash. You can machine wash it. If you machine wash it, gentle cycle, and then you simply put it on a hanger and let it air dry. Okay. When it comes to our polyethylene shell, you just simply take a hand sanitizer, wipe it down. Maintenance done there. When it comes to our carbon fiber shell, you want to take a hand sanitizer, wipe it down. And the most important thing is you want to avoid it being bent up like this. That's what you don't want. And instead, what you want to do is make sure that whenever you pack it up, you put materials in between it that allows for it to maintain its shape. So when players put it in their bag and they pull it out their bag, it stays in its original shape. So that's our carbon fiber shell. And that is maintenance for our two-in-one system. I want to talk about something that's really, really important, which is the warranty system when it comes to two-in-one. And this is really important. First thing I want you to understand is when it comes to the vest, you stand behind the vest, and for 2 years you have a no questions asked, one-time replacement policy. In other words, what in the world does that mean? If anything happens to the integrity of the vest, stitching comes loose, a Velcro comes off. No questions asked, You send the vest back to us, we send you a brand new vest within the first 2 years. The same thing with the shells. Anything goes wrong with the shell, for any reason, something breaks, then you send us those pair back, we send you a brand new pair back. I want to be very clear about this because this is a differentiator between us and other shoulder pad companies. A lot of shoulder pad companies will say if something breaks, you send it to them, they'll repair it and send it back. I want to be very clear. We're not repairing it. You send the shell to us that was broke, we send you a brand new pair, a one-time new replacement policy within the first 2 years. And that's a differentiator between 2-in-1 shoulder pads and other shoulder pad providers.